of yourself. Black power is real. Did George Washington Carver was the first
Talk to me about no goddamn peanut butter.
The Statue of Liberty was based on a black...
You know that ain't true. Black people out here claiming everyone.
De Niro loves us down.
He really does, though.
We're killing it in almost every sport.
They think they slick making hockey all cold and shit, but we know what you're doing.
They still can't prove we're all not African.
These bitches are our sons.
You want to talk black pride? I got 3 words for you. Black don't crack.
Good afternoon and welcome back to My Harlem Portraits, the show that wants to shed a light on the fundamental contribution of African Americans to the building of this country and on Black excellence. Our very special guest today is a Harlem born and raised, young, Tony-nominated, and multi-award winner, theater, TV, and film actress. Her name is Kara Young. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Kara, I've seen you recently in your interpretation of Shakespeare in Twelfth Night by the Classical Theater of Harlem in Marcus Garvey Park. And it's a free show, which is lasting how many more days until
4 more shows.
4 more shows. So until the end of July.
The 29th to be exact.
29th of July. So who hasn't seen it yet, please go and see it because it's formidable. It's one of the best shows you'll see during this year.
Thank you.
Congratulations, and tell me how you feel performing every night for a open air, sweaty
Yeah.
weather.
It is a sweaty experience. But to be very honest with you, I was just talking about somebody with this, to be of service to the community in this way feels really special. I think it's the thing that matters the most is that this is a free experience. And not only that, we're putting on a show, we're doing Shakespeare. It's like, there's all of the elements are there as if you were in, a really, I guess, expensive theater. But this is like the moment where capitalism is not going to be questioned in this moment for you to experience joy, and what's been really beautiful is seeing the people of my community every single night in the audience. And also, being of service to that space, to Marcus Garvey Park. And yes, being born and raised in Harlem and still a resident of Harlem and seeing the many changes that Harlem has gone through, it feels incredibly special to see so many brown faces in the audience at the end of the show.
Yes, it is an incredible experience that I do every year. And I live right on 116, so it's just around the corner. And it's fantastic. So, and as you said, this is a real show. It's a production that you could go and see on Broadway. It's not just because it's free, it's a cheap show. No, it's not at all. It's an amazing show, amazing production with actors and actresses and dancers and a choreography and costumes that are to the level of Broadway shows.
Absolutely. And you have the incredible Christina Sajou, Alan Gilmore, Shivis Michael. I mean, there's just so many incredible actors that this particular production to me showcases so beautifully. So if you're coming out, if you want to see some new actors, some new faces that you might not have seen, although Christina Sajou has been on Broadway 5 times, seeing her as Illyria in this play is a very different, I could only imagine for her even, it's very different for me. I've never done Shakespeare before. So this is something like that's very, very new for me. And new to showcase myself in this way as well, you know, but to do it with the idea of doing it, not even the idea, the actual reality of doing it for for my place of birth is something else, you know. It means something other.
And tell us just a little bit about your role, because you have a dual role actually there.
Yeah, so the play opens up. I mean, this is a play that's been done, it's a 400-year-old play. So it's been done thousands and thousands of times, interpreted all over the world globally, uh, by Shakespeare, William Shakespeare. But so my character opens up as Viola, and Viola, a shipwreck has happened, and she's been split from her twin brother, and she lands in this place called Illyria. And in Illyria is a land that is unknown to her, familiar through her memory that her father has given her information about this place. And she decides that, you know, she's going to walk through the world, this world, as a man. And I feel like there's such a relevance about that, right? Like, we are in a time right now where it is easier to walk through the world as a man, considering
Always been.
I mean, Maria G, you know, I mean, you know, like, it's just the times that we're living in. I guess it's always been that way, but the times that we're living in right now as a woman, and, you know, the overturn of Roe v. Wade, and, you know, how our bodies are literally, you know, being compromised on the daily. And
Yes.
Viola makes a very important decision to say, I'm going to walk through this world as a man in this world. And I think that ultimately she's landed in a foreign place. She doesn't, like, if she walks through this world as a woman, there are so many flags that will go up. Like, I might get, you know, and not to be, but this is just a reality. I might be raped. I don't know this place. Somebody could, you know, take me into for sex trafficking.
Yes.
The amount of possibilities of being a woman navigating a new space. So she says, I'm going to present myself as a man, and she renames herself Cesario. And through that, she becomes a eunuch to Orsino. And Orsino is known to be in love with Olivia, who is played by Christina Sajou. And I go to send that message to Olivia, and Olivia ends up falling in love with me. But what I skipped was that I didn't really realize that I was going to be in love with Orsino. So there's this crazy love triangle, which I think is also incredibly relevant today too, because it absolutely is like the core of love is love. It's like you can love and fall in love and be in love with whomever, human to human. You know, it's the I love you because I love you, you know? And in that, I think, you know, what we've been finding every night, and now, you know, Orsino was being played by Bill Demerit, and is now the understudy Donathan Walters is covering the role of Orsino. And what I've been finding as the repetition has been going, because you find new things every night, is like Orsino is battling the fact that he's kind of in love with this boy, Cesario, you know? And so it's like it's a wild love triangle, but there's just so many beautiful gems of humanity throughout the entire piece. And Viola as Cesario represents like wit and smarts and fearlessness to say yes and to say go, like, at all times, and is just allowing things to unplay by her or their decision to become a man in this world.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that. And we invite everybody who hasn't seen it, go every night at 7:30, right?
Well, you should get there a little bit. I mean, if you want to get there like around 7:45, 8, but the show starts officially at 8:30.
Okay, 8:30 every night at Marcus Garvey Park. on
Yes.
120th Street, and it's free and it's beautiful.
It's free. Just walk in. It's at the Richard Rogers Amphitheater.
Now, I would like to talk to you about Clyde's,
Yeah.
which earned you a Tony nomination for Best Performance by an Actress in a Feature Role in a Play. I saw you in Clyde.
You did.
Yes, and
Oh,
you
wow.
were pretty amazing.
Wow.
The
Thank
whole
you so
show
much.
by Lynn Nottage was amazing. So tell us about this experience there. It was your debut, right?
It was my Broadway debut. I had never worked with Lynn Nottage before. I had worked with Kate Wariski, the director, before, who I adore and love, and obviously adore and love Lynn Nottage as well. But I am still having revelations about Letitia and Clyde's. That world, the world that Lynn created, and I mean, this was a sandwich shop that was run by Clyde, played by Uzo Aduba, and it was a group of formerly incarcerated people. And so you're meeting these people post incarceration, and they have a job that they are trying to survive with. And Letitia had a young daughter that the whole reason that she got incarcerated was because she was trying to save her sick daughter. And I think that, you know, the truth of the matter of her stealing seizure medication to save her sick daughter really tells us something about America's healthcare system.
Yes.
And how there are so many injustices within America's healthcare system, and especially for poor people around the country as well, right? So why is she in a position where she has to steal seizure medication for her daughter to begin with? She says,
should she go to prison for something like that?
should she go to prison for trying to save her daughter? And why is this the thing that she has to do, right? She says that she wouldn't change anything about that moment. She would save her daughter, and I think any mother would.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that was it started in a certain way, and then the more the play developed, first of all, the nuances, the shades, the amazing way that Lynn Nottage writes her plays is just so deep.
Yeah, the Lynn Nottage
So
canon.
many layers.
So many layers. It's a infinite amount of layers, and you know what I'm noticing, it's like very Shakespearean.
Yes.
There's so many I've described this before in this way. There's just so many universes upon universes within a line, or between the line, or between, you know, in response to. There's just an infinite amount of possibilities. But her worlds are so rich, which the dramaturgy of the characters that she's given us on the page really gives us so much to paint that picture. But also Lynn Nottage's understanding of the American healthcare system, of the American injustice system, of the justice impacted people around this nation, and globally as well. You know, it feels like that there's a very strong connection to wanting to change the world, and wanting to change the way people see us, or people who are impacted by the injustices of America and America's broken system.
Which is really the reason why I'm doing this show.
Word up.
Exactly the reason why I'm doing this show, because having moved to Harlem in 2005, but then I was back and forth with Europe, and then I moved here for good 2013. I've been so welcome in this community that I feel more home here than I feel in Italy.
Wow, and it's probably because, Maria G, I will tell you something though, because there are people who are not like you, right? And it's probably because you want to be a part of the community.
Oh yeah.
You know, versus not wanting to be a part of the community and trying to change the community.
Oh yeah,
right?
well, yes.
There's a
I had
whole,
some of those in the first building I was living in.
yes, of
We're
course.
living in Harlem, but they didn't want to be in Harlem. So,
Right,
don't
right,
come to Harlem if you don't want to be in Harlem.
right. There's a lot of
The
people
Upper
in
East
my
Side.
building who want to be in Harlem, but don't want me, a native of Harlem, in Harlem.
Oh, that's not a
So,
good building.
no,
To the
but
Kalahari.
right, right. But see, no, that's the difference between you and the other person who's moving into our communities,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah, yeah. But it is a welcoming community. It is a welcoming community. And that's why I'm trying to give back in this way so that people in Europe can see exactly what's going on in this country and the richness of a Black culture, which is not well known. We only know the famous actors and the
Right.
basketball player and so on, but there is so much more than that. There is much, much more. So thank you for being one of the much more that we are portraying in our show.
Thank you for having me.
So let's continue. You have you also had a Lucille Lortel Award nomination for starring in that role in the MCC Theater in All the Natalie Portman.
Yes, by C.A. Johnson.
Mm. Then you have other theater credits for Halfway Bitches Go Straight to Heaven,
Yes, by Stephen Adly Girgis.
The New Englander, Sinking Ink, and Pretty Hunger.
Yes, New Englanders by Jeff Augustine, Sinking Ink by Sanguji Kam, and Pretty Hunger by Ione Lloyd.
Fantastic. On the screen, you starred in the winner of the Sundance 2018 short film jury award, US fiction, Hair Wolf.
Yes.
You were the star of that. Tell me a little bit about that, because I saw
Yes.
the trailer and it looked really interesting.
Oh man, that was by the incredible visionary Mariama Diallo, who also wrote Master, that's currently on Amazon right now. Hairwolf was about many different things, but it's really one of the most beautifully aesthetic short, like beautiful shorts that I have ever seen. It's a very bold, it's aesthetically bold rather, and colorful and gorgeous. But it was about gentrifying a moment in gentrifying Brooklyn, right? And a white girl coming to suck the souls out of Black people, and through hair. And so if you do find the short somewhere, I believe it's on Vimeo. I think people can watch it on Vimeo and search for that, because it's a Vimeo staff pick on top of winning all of these incredible awards, including the prestigious Sundance jury award. I happen to be the lead of that, but it also stars some incredible other actors who you've seen all over now at this point, because that was in 2018.
2018. Wow.
Yeah, that was in 2018, but it really was I guess a launching pad for doing film and television a little bit deeply, you know? That was definitely a project that meant a lot to me, because of what it represented, and it was a comedy as well, you know, it was, and beautiful, and again, beautiful, bold, and different.
Different, yeah. I just saw the trailer and said, I need to see this one.
Yeah.
Then lately, just because I interviewed your partner in that film, you recently were in the film Silent Partner.
Yes.
In the Harlem Film Festival.
Yes, that's right.
Tell me a little bit about that, because I know that at the time you were, I think you were in Hollywood, you were somewhere doing a TV show or a film.
Yes,
When
yes, I was, and I came to that. It was weird. Like I was weirdly available to come to that particular premiere for the Harlem Film Festival because I literally had just gotten back.
Yeah.
But Roderick Lawrence and Aristotle Torres created this incredible world, which is not far from the truth, and it can seem like the extreme, but it's really actually very close to the truth. Short, a short, and also short story. It is about a young Black man who is about to become partner because of a case that um, he was put in a position where he had to be, I guess, for lack of a better word, a traitor to his people,
Yeah.
and fighting.
Controversial case that nobody else wanted, and they gave it. I think they gave it to him because he's Black.
He was Black. Yeah. And ultimately, not to give the whole story away, but they are looking to, I'm 5 months pregnant, and they are looking to take our baby.
Yeah.
They want our child. And so that's kind of the turn of that film. And we have so many different revelations throughout the film of what we know about the world, what we find out about ourselves, and what we actually learn in the moment of being immersed with the people that my husband is working for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very, very, very interesting movie. Very interesting. We go to, you were featured also on HBO's Random Acts of Flyness and in the Amazon Chemical Heart.
Yeah.
So tell me, in your career, up to now, what are the moments that you felt most achievement, the moments that were more difficult for you, the moments that you felt were a real stepping stone? And tell me a little bit about what you're doing now, or you will be doing.
So it's interesting because I feel like at this point, so in the beginning, everything feels very much prettier when you think about, like, oh, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want it to be like this, I want to be like that. And then, very early on, I realized, like, I'm not a model. I'm not, 5'7" or 6 feet. Like, nobody's gonna, like, pick me for a commercial, or nobody's gonna, like, I just knew that was not a part of my path, because people weren't picking me for my looks. And picking me, I say that because that's how I worked on the other side for a long time, and I saw the way that people view other people in this industry, and I wasn't that. And I understood that very early. And then I started to really work and wanting to work and saying yes to every single play festival, everything that I could touch. And I ended up really learning, and even though I had an educational experience, I ended up really learning from my peers. I ended up learning from working with new people over and over and over and over again. And looking back now, I would say that the beautiful acknowledgments and achievements are very, very touching, because they're unexpected.
Yeah.
Really, you start to do the work, and all of those things become unexpected. Like the Tony nomination was so unexpected for me.
Really?
Yes, absolutely. The Lucille Lortel was unexpected. The Drama Desk nomination was, all of those things were unexpected. And then the real, like, the prize is working with Lynn Nottage, is working with Ron Cephas Jones, is working with Uzo Aduba, is working with Edmund Donovan and Reza Salazar, is getting to work with Christina Sajou and Alan Gilmore and Shivas Michael, and Carl Caulfield, and working with the Classical Theater of Harlem and building a community of people, so I feel like every stepping stone, or every room is a stepping stone. Every opportunity to meet somebody new is a stepping stone. Performing for my community is a stepping stone. Like, all of these things are achievements within its own. And doing Shakespeare feels like an achievement.
And that kind of Shakespeare.
And that kind of Shakespeare.
Very, very
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so I know my answer was a little broad and subject to evolve, because it will evolve. That answer will evolve, but I do feel like, to answer your question right now, like it all has been a beautiful journey because of the things that I thought that I knew versus the things that I learned, then to the communities that have been built, and the communities that continue to grow or start. Um, yeah, I feel like all of it is a
Falling
part of the
into
journey. Yeah, it's all like, and
it's like a
it's still the
puzzle for
beginning.
yeah.
Yeah, it's still the beginning.
What is your most immediate project and your more long-term project?
So right now, it just got announced today that I'll be doing Cost of Living, which is a play by Martina Mayock and is going to be directed by Joe Bonney at MTC. And
Congratulations.
thank you so much.
So
And
we are announcing it also here.
yeah, you're announcing it here, so that's really cool. And then next year, which I'm really excited about this role, and I'm
When
just
is this
excited.
starting?
Preview starts September 13th at
So it's
MTC, so very
right
soon.
now. It's
Yeah,
very soon. Good.
yeah. And next year, a TV show comes out called I'm a Virgo by
Mm,
Boots Riley.
fantastic. You
Yeah.
have a lot on your plate, and most everything you have on your plate seems to be really good quality stuff because you have good quality. That's what you were talking about before, they don't take you for a commercial. So what? Cares about the commercial? I mean, you're doing Broadway. Who cares about the commercial, right? You jumped a step. You went straight to Broadway and to theater and to classical theater and to the most beautiful performances that you did. And I want to say to our viewer that as far as Clyde is concerned, the New York Times called your performance quick-witted, and the Hollywood Reporter hailed you as outstanding, okay? And also recently you received the inaugural Florence Mills Rising Star Awards at the first ever Black Women on Broadway ceremony. All right? Who cares about the commercials? We don't. So we have come to the end of our conversation. I'm really, really happy that you made it. You found the time for us.
Oh my God, of course.
And I give you my best wishes for the immediate future and your biggest fear. But I'm going to see you again. We're going to cross
We're
paths.
gonna see. Yeah, we should definitely do dinner in Harlem.
Please.
For sure.
Absolutely. Okay. So thank you again. Thank you for being with us. And thank you for being with My Harlem Portraits. See you next Saturday, 12:30 p.m. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.